Hey, howdy and happy day. There are three places in the United States of America that are isolated as states, right? You have Point Roberts, which is just south of Vancouver, Canada. It's isolated. There's only a population of about 1,100 people, and you have to drive about 25 miles through Canada to get into Washington State, Point Roberts. And then there's Alaska. Alaska, you can't get there either unless you drive through Canada, or of course you can by boat or plane, the same as in Point Roberts. And then there's Hawaii, and it's never going to be connected. But you could connect Point Roberts and Alaska if Canada became the 51st state. So Trump, hey, talk about that too, will you? It's about bringing us together. I mean, there must be a song out there to go with that. You know, together is happy. That's kind of funny. Anyway, we have a thing going on here with leftist people in America. You know, we need a vaccine for liberalism. And we need it kind of quickly because some of these people, they're lunatics. I mean, it's quite incredible. You now have a group of people, and most of them are women, which is interesting as well. And they're saying there's a problem here. We can't get jobs as women in manufacturing jobs because manufacturing, M-A-N, is in front of manufacturing. Duh. And women, that's a problem as well because that's men. M-E-N is at the end of women. And this is against us. And they have groups now that are talking like this. Hear that noise in the background? It's not a gun. Boom, boom, boom. I've got a wood stove on. It's cold where I am. So that's what it is. When you hear the little noise, don't get frightened. Fire is kind of frightening. Back to this. What kind of crazy people do that? The name, in a way, I'm surprised it's just coming out now. It should have been out long ago. I mean, manufacturing. That means we can never get a job in manufacturing because it's just for men and you're a bunch of racist people and you're against women. Men like women. Why do these people keep on singling out themselves? Bah! Who knows? It's a bloody mystery. Now, Musk now is saying some things that I've been saying for many, many years. I said we need a wealth test. You have somebody like a Joe Biden who's been in public office for half his life, more than half his life, over 50 years. And his average salary is probably $100,000 and some odd thousand, and he has mortgages and cats and dogs and all of those things. And now he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. How did that happen? That's what Musk is saying. He's saying, hey, we're going to start looking into federal government workers who have managed to acquire millions and millions of dollars while working on taxpayer dime. Hallelujah. That's coming from me. This is pretty cool. I mean, it's odd. He goes on to say, it's odd that people in the bureaucracy manage to acquire tens of millions of dollars. If they're good investors, then we want investor advice from them. But it's a mystery how so many of them are so wealthy. And I've been saying this again for 100 years. You got to go in and look, a wealth test. What's the problem with that? Politicians wouldn't allow it. Typically, I've pushed for this in Canada. I said, look at all these rich guys. And I've had politicians tell me, Brian, they don't want to be investigated, because they have billions of dollars, some of them, and certainly many millions, many others in Canada and in the US. But now you have this new thing, DOGE. And DOGE is allowed to go in because Musk doesn't care. He doesn't want to get elected. He's the richest man in the world, and he's saying, let's make it level here. All you people who are doing bad things, I think this is great. I like it. I like it a lot. Wow. Now, religion always interests me. I mean, I watch a sports game, and the guy says, I prayed that we would win, and we won, and I thank God for winning. But the other team has a lot of Christians as well, and they lost. Maybe they also prayed. I was with a lady one time, and she said, I prayed to God that I would get a parking stall at the mall in the front. And sure enough, there was a spot. And I said, but there's lots of other Christians driving around here looking for a parking stall. Maybe it's just lack. Oh, no, God did it. But it's interesting because if you lose that ball game, do you blame God? I'm a Christian. I'm not knocking Christianity. I'm interested in that. I'm curious because there's a lot of that going on. Hey, I got the parking stall and I go to church more often than you and I believe better than you. Bah! And I'm over here and I can't park. I'm just saying. All of us work in our own little way. Now, keeping with that, with religion, if you want a match made in heaven, you got to go to Japan. There's a town, city there called, I can't pronounce anything, work with me, Izumo, Izmo. There's a good chance, of course, then that you'll get heard because every year 8 million gods gather in this seaside city to decide the fate of human relationships, right? You get off your plane and you step on the ground, you walk past a statue of another god named, oh boy, Ushamoha, as known as that god is known as a great matchmaking power. And there's a rack of wooden prayer plaques there inscribed with all kinds of romantic wishes. And if you pray for love, you'll be heard, so it says. Right? So maybe parking stalls and love and everything else, maybe I'm on the wrong track. Hey, y'all come back. And I took you off track there. And politically, right is right, left is wrong, and Musk, good job. Weed out these bad guys, the corruption, the liberal nonsense. Back to the vaccine, we need it desperately. A vaccine for liberalism, and we need to lock them in the basement until we find the vaccine. They can practice their pronouns when they're locked there until we get it. Hey, y'all come back. See ya.